solo. And oh shit. Nah, that's not what I was hoping for. But okay. Who's adequate to do this? Actually, where do I go? Oh, top room. Yeah. To get into these questions, I've got Stacy's and I've got Donna's questions. I'm gonna go into them. Thank you to you two as well.
Reinforce the area. Hostiles regrouping.
Holy shit. Should have used Goya, really.
Prepare to engage.
Yeah. Where did you start?
Op 4 has 20 on the hostage. Hostage, down the hostage.
Friendly injured, administering aid.
Hostage revived by operators. Hostage down, injured by hostiles. 3 hostiles remaining. The threat has been eliminated.
Fucking hell.
We've revived the hostage.
It's a madness.
Secure the hostage.
Right. First things first. Let's fix this wall.
Hostile insertion, keep the hostage safe.
I don't know if I've got enough time. All I can do is try. Wow, one shot in the head.
All friendlies were eliminated.
Yeah, look, gap in the wall. This is hard, man, even on easy. Stupidly hard game. When people on PC, they do this like it's nothing. Absolute crazy people. Yeah, I could do this. I just stay outside and just don't come out. Actually. Yeah, just park in the alleyway and just sit, just keep my ass there and just don't do nothing. I can answer some of these.
A bomb must be located and defused.
Yep. I don't know what that noise is. I need to move away. And a place where it's just like more silent, but it's just got all these crazy songs in it. Cause it's always like that. Nah, it's alright. Oh, I can get down to some of this crazy shit. So, oh, who's that? Hold on. Oh, Amanda. Okay. Which game tournament had the biggest upset you witnessed? Ooh. Game tournament upset. 2002, 2003. It was one of the New Empire tournaments. And actually, I remember this as clear as day, because I thought it wasn't really an upset, but some people are very ignorant. Like, the London players were very ignorant because they made themselves seem like they were just the best at Street Fighter 3. Now, I didn't play Street Fighter 3. As the tournament went on, I think there was like a 12 or a 13-year-old kid. He turned up and he had like a Sega Mega Drive 6-button pad, but it was compatible for the PlayStation or whatever was used at the time. I think it was Dreamcast. I'm sure it was Dreamcast version. And he won. And I mean, he absolutely like decimated people with Ken. He was only 13 or 14. And I think he said something about, yeah, I remember a couple of the players said to him, so where do you play? And he goes, he lives in Shropshire, or he lives in the countryside, but he only plays with his older brother. That's all he said. And people were pissed. They're like, oh, you don't play online? No, we don't have online over there. And everyone was all baffled looking at each other, and I just thought to myself, nah man, that's alright. Like, he has belief in his game, and he only plays with one person, his brother. I didn't think nothing bad, but for them guys it was a reality check, innit? It was a big reality check that someone came from nowhere, came to London to play an event, and just sweepstaked everyone. And that was I remember that. What is the best experience you saw in gaming? The best experience? Oh no, man. Probably taking a back seat and watching how other people do tournaments to when I would do them. Always wanted to see what concepts worked and what ones don't work, and for the reasons why, so I could always learn to understand. So I always thought if I had the time one day that I'd like to see how tournaments are done in my hands, what would I like that's right and wrong, then yeah, I'd love to. Tournaments, I like how tournaments have good concepts, man, if you allow them to have good concepts. But the problem with some tournaments, man, is some people, like, they think that you've got bare time on your hands, that you can run, I don't know, double elimination, triple elimination, you know, multiple, like a 16-man tournament could take 2 hours, 3 hours. Then you got 24, 32 people. They're expecting this thing to go on for like a good 6-7 hours of your time that you're providing, and then while you're providing it, all you're getting is bare complaints. You know, you can't please everybody. I've been in countless amount of tournaments. I've had people complaining tournaments all the time. Even there's other people's tournaments that I don't even have to be in there. I've had friends in there and people complain. It's just things that happen, but it happens frequent to a point where it's just like, you know, you can't be bothered after a while. You just think, leave it, man. Forget tournaments. What was the worst tournament you turned up to? Jesus. The worst tournament. I played. I didn't get to the end, so it's not controversial for me, but it was controversial for other people, and it was, I can't remember exactly what year. I'm going to say it was 2004 or 2003, and it was one of the Tekken 5 tournaments, and a certain individual basically just didn't give a shit. He turned up late on his own accord, and he didn't really qualify. I think he came 17th or 18th, and he asked to pay someone to say to them like that they didn't want to qualify and let this person qualify it. And then the top players weren't happy about it, but it went to a vote, and the person was allowed to play in the top 16. And I kind of just like said, nah man, I'm taking my stuff and I'm going home, and I don't know like how these things could be going on. And then there was a big massive argument among staff, and that person didn't win, but it wasn't about the win, it was about the disrespect of the other people who were outside of the outside of the top 16. There was another 30, 40, 50 people who paid their money to be there, you know. And I think that was very disrespectful to the masses. Today I don't know what people would think, but back then I thought it was very disrespectful. Question 4: if you could change anything about gaming, what would it be? That people would be nicer to each other, more welcome to other people. Girl gamers are more welcoming to games. Not even just girl gamers, new people in general, people who are new to gaming, yeah, that flourish the entertainment scene. Welcome them, bring them into your game, man. As for girls, guys, you need to stop doing the stupid things you do. And I'm not excusing everybody here, because some girls do some stupid things as well. You know what I mean? You both need to stop doing the things you're doing. Harassment, sexual, whatever, all those kind of things need to dead. Stop all that, man. Be nice to each other, be kind to one another. Stop going on forums trolling and causing people to do bad things to each other, man. It's unnecessary. There's lots of people, man, they don't feel welcome in games and stuff, and you shouldn't have to feel like that. And they will just grow up and have different hobbies, and they'll be telling people I could get into gaming because these people put me off. You shouldn't have to hear things like that. You know, it's kind of disgusting. Question 5: SNK or Capcom? Oh my god. Oh, come on, man, seriously. And the thing is Capcom has Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, which is one of my favourite games of all time. Then at the same time they have Street Fighter EX2, but it wasn't all Capcom's game, it was Akira's game. And really, they're the only 2 games I like that Capcom made. I don't really care about the other Street Fighter games. SNK has bare games. King of Fighters 94, 96, 98. Some of the music in them not good. Kazuna Encounter. There's so many games. I have to say SNK. If only most of them games were online, man, it'd make life a bit easier. Because you don't really get people to come around and play them. They don't really want to play them. Who was the best influence to you in gaming overall? The best influence? Fucking hell, man. The best influence. See, that's a dilemma, because I could name about 5 people, but if I'm gonna have to name one from, okay, here's an easy way to break it down. If I'm talking about from the day that I started playing games and meeting friends to the day that I am now today, then I'm gonna put Derek at the top of the list, because at the same time he's one of the first people I met, and he's still about. Whether he plays games or not, he's still about. Others are not about, man. They've gone about their own way doing things, and like, he's still about. So yeah, I'll put Derek at the top of that list. Those are nice questions though. Oh, who's that? Right, I'm going to go into Donna's questions, which are: question 1: as time has gone on, what do you prefer better? Fighting games, racing games, shooting games, or something else? Ooh. At this current moment, I do like Rainbow Six. I don't consider myself very good at it anymore. Like, I kind of just like getting away from fighting games and just playing some other stuff. But Rainbow Six is the closest thing to, would I dare say, SNK versus Capcom 2 with weapons. Like, every character has a viable tool that can do something in this game. Whether the tier list is high or low, they all bring something to the party that can disable other people, and it does bring a good interest. Some characters' tools are more productive than others, that's admitted, and it's been admitted. Like, there's loads of threads about certain characters. 6 or 7 characters are better than everyone else. It's clear to see that. But at the same time, don't underestimate any character in this game, innit? Because there's specialists out there. They will tear you apart with characters you won't expect. Because I've seen some crazy things going on. and whatever they call the word meta, they bring some crazy things to this game. Question 2. Any advice for people who want to get into a game? Before you get into a game, find the right like-minded people to play it with. Don't get into it by yourself first and then you're stuck. Find some people and ask them how often do they play it. Are they active? Because there's no point someone saying to you, yeah, I've got this game and I'll play it, and then you go and buy it, you get into it, and then they'll be telling you, yeah, but I only play it once a month, because then you're fucked. So, you know, really sit down, look around you, see who plays what, ask them how long they play. Are they active? Are they proactive? Are they hyperly active? If they're hyperly active, then ask them questions. I'm sure they'll sit down, they'll ask you questions about the game. Can you get into this game? Is there any fundamentals you can teach me? Do you have time to teach me? You know, all them things can be asked. The greatest win ever against anyone. Greatest win. Forza 2 World Championships. Definitely the greatest, because it was an underachieved car and nobody wanted to sponsor with Honda, and I did it. I did the impossible. Well, that's why it's called, you know, you can dream the impossible. That's what it's called. So yeah, Forza 2. What's the worst loss? The worst loss, not a bitter loss, but a disappointing loss. Losing to Desk, because Desk was a fraud. Only certain people know about that shit that went on back then, man. He pretended, like, he stayed over mine and everything. This guy was pretending like he couldn't play CVS 2, man. I'm sitting there giving the guy pointers and everything. Do this, do that. And then in the final, you know what I mean, man, my man was losing 4-0, 3-0, 4-0. He was losing, and then he came back from nowhere doing roll cancelling. All kinds of shit was going on. I was like, hang on, what's this guy doing? Like, what? Oh, he's using roll cancel. And then I looked at him and I thought, why would you do that? Like, so you set me up to lose on purpose all along. Like, and I thought to myself, you know, if that's how the scene is, with this is upcoming people are going to do things like that, like troll you, bullshit you. I didn't want to be a part of that. That's why I left. That was one of the reasons why I left at the time. Why would you refuse to go pro? Look at it. Look at the state. Look at the state of it. Well, people are happy to bleed money. I could understand if they came and turned around and said, like, oh, we'd be able to pay you for certain things, or we can help you with certain bits and pieces. But you really, truly, you should be out there working, man. You should be out there getting a job and doing them things, innit? Like, Problem X had no problem going out working. He had a part-time or a full-time job, and then he came home, then he played games and got into tournaments. He has every right to not do that now, you know what I mean? He's winning tournaments, but he still sponsors himself. He still takes himself to go to things. Other people, they're just sitting at home hovering around thinking like they're entitled to all this shit, but they're not entitled to nothing. You ain't done nothing. What have you done for your whatever scene, fighting, shooting scene? When do I plan to retire? When do I don't know. Maybe if I asked the right person and settled down with him and it came up as a question, then maybe that'll be the case, but I don't know. It has to be for a good reason for me to stop playing. If it was like a certain person said it was an impersonal balance, then I could compromise, then that's fine. But if it was something like after a certain, if it wasn't like not, if I saw someone now 2020 and it was like a year down the line or 2 years down the line and she said like, would you consider like just allowing it for a bit? Of course I would. Of course I'd allow it. I spend quality time with that person anyway, but to spend more quality time with that person, you gotta allow the games, man. Games are forever. Relationships might not be, you know, if you don't play your cards right, you may not even be with the person forever. So you have to think very carefully, like, So yeah, I'd have to think about. Well, I have to think about that one. Yeah, thank you for those. Those are good questions.